got back from the gym. Oh, I've got this demon of a personal trainer. She damn near killed me today. As soon as I got in the front door, I couldn't wait to get stuck into a salon. You know Mike, my husband, well, he's the same handsome dude I married, and his only exercise is pressing the TV remote. Doesn't seem fair, does it? Anyway, both of our girls have left home now. Everyone's been saying, oh, you poor empty nester. Or, now you'll have more time for the gym. Bloody hell, not me. I've booked us a trip to Cairns, staying at Crystal Brook, $500 a night. And I'm planning a trip to Spain and Italy. However, there has been some drama. Cut a long story short, it all began one night when Mike told me that when he was at uni, he and some mates dared each other to donate to a sperm bank. Oh, I nearly killed myself laughing. What? Masturbating for motherhood? How many little Mikes are there running around? He went quiet for a moment and he said, I think there's a limit of 20. 20, right? We've been married for 25 years and he's never said a word. Said he forgot until that day. Well, that rang alarm bells, I can tell you. I poured myself a large glass of Saint Laurent and I told him to give it to me straight. I knew it. One of them has contacted him. Well, they're allowed to do that when they turn 18. Out of the blue, this Janine rang and told him her sob story. Daddy died when she was a baby. Mum became an alcoholic. She had a shitty childhood. Oh, I could see what was coming. She wanted money from her daddy. I told him straight, don't you dare get mixed up in her life and her problems. Jesus, he said, I'm just meeting her tomorrow. Want to come? Well, there was no way I was going. I could see he was hooked into being the long-lost daddy or the saviour. I was that damn cranky. We've just got our girls off our hands, both independent and working, and now this kid turns up, some runaway from hell. Well, the next day, when I got home from work, there's Mike and some pasty-faced girl of about 18, with a large plastic bag beside her, sitting in my kitchen having a cuppa. He hadn't even phoned me. Mike jumped up, guilty as hell, introduced her, mumbled something about bad luck, a minor run-in with the cops. Nothing serious. She just needs a bed for a couple of nights. Well, I could see straight away she was a drug addict, a crib. She'd steal our computers and all our valuables and just piss off. I said to Mike, she is bloody well not staying. She gave me a look and said, I know when I'm not wanted, and stood up to leave. Well, I got the shock of my life. She looked 10 months pregnant, about to pop any minute. Oh, good on you, Mike, I thought. A pregnant crib. Well, even I couldn't kick her out. Well, not that night, anyway. But I swore when we got to bed, I'd kill Mike by stabbing him very slowly with a nail file. Oh, we had this goddamn awful row. He kept saying things like, oh, I'm sorry, but she is my daughter. Or her mother's kicked her out, what else can I do? Apparently, wanted her to stay until the baby came. And I eventually got him to promise he'd find her somewhere to stay the next day. Well, you can guess what happened. At 2 a.m, her waters broke. Mike was running around like a chook with its head chopped off and eventually bundled her off to hospital. And would you believe it? She had twin girls that night. And what's even crazier, she didn't even know she was having twins. God, her mother must be hopeless. I mean, how could she not look after her own daughter? Mike went from this ecstatic, "Oh, you should see them, they're so beautiful," to the guilty, "I'll find her somewhere ASAP, I promise." "You damn well better," I yelled. Talk about a disaster. Andy reckoned he was going to pay for everything. I tried to knock some sense into him, but I soon realised I had to get him through the "I have to be the daddy" crisis first. Well, a few days later, Mike arrives home with Janine and the babies. He tried to stare me down. "She only needs a couple of weeks, just till I find somewhere." Bloody hell, I was furious. A new mum and 2 littlies. And it had been more than 2 weeks. And who was going to look after them? Well, not him. And I was past all that. I told Mike, "Your daughter needs a mum, and it isn't going to be me." If he was going to carry on like a demented dad, I was off to Byron Bay until he came to his senses. And I stormed into the lounge. Well, I pulled up short, because there was Janine sitting on the sofa with the 2 babies. Oh, I could see screaming kids 24/7, stinky nappies, a depressed child mother. Total chaos. Well, you can imagine what I wanted to say. Go home to your mother or go to a women's refuge. Right? Wrong. I made the mistake of picking up one of the babies. I tell you, she was a mini she-devil in disguise. She put her hex on me. I looked into those baby blue eyes, smelled that sweet baby smell you only get from newborns, felt the downy baby hair against my skin, and straight away my heart cracked open. I melted into a puddle on the floor. And what's worse, I went out and bought 2 cots, a pile of baby clothes, nappies, and a fancy twin stroller in, wait for it, jogger grey. Well, that was 4 weeks ago, and they're still here. Janine's a good kid. She just got caught stealing food and baby clothes when her mother kicked her out. Our girls are all over the babies, love being aunties. And as for me, I take the twins out walking in the park in the fancy stroller. Smile when strangers come up to me and say, "Wonderful being a grandma, isn't it?" And would you believe it? I even do the damn washing. Me! Oh, little Sasha and Isabella. I am so in love with them. "Don't you dare get mixed up in her life," I told Mike. Yeah, right. Well, now he's wandering around the house with furrowed brow, complaining he can't work from home. Bloody men. And I have to say, I am a little bit nervous. I keep wondering when we're going to hear from the other 19.